That's I want everyone. I don't want anybody brand new in my team trying to close somebody. Because if you could close them, you'd be closing them. But you can't, right? So get their interest. Get them interested, and then throw me in a three-way text message or inbox on Facebook or whatever. Get me, hey, Nina, are you busy? Can we do a three-way call? Give me some information about the person, and then let me close. Don't ever try to close. Really, if you don't know, if you're brand new, don't close. Don't close until you start closing people on a rate. Listen, I am a presidential. I still do three-way calls. I know they're just like, what? I don't have to. Do you know why I do them? So that the person that I'm prospecting understands that this is the process. I don't ever want you, I'm teaching you from the time I start prospecting you. And if I'm closing, I have this great conversation telling you everything about the company, you're gonna think you need to know the same thing. But because I can get an expert, I don't know very much, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you on the phone with somebody who knows it all. And he's gonna answer your questions. Like my international people, I'll put them on the phone with Mike Lemire. My men, I put them on the phone with Jared Wilkins. What does a man want to hear from me? He sure doesn't want to hear about a fupa. You know what I mean? So he doesn't want to hear that. He doesn't. Are we live? Oh, I'm sorry. We live? We're not live. Right. So I'm just saying he doesn't want to hear. He doesn't want to hear about that. Honestly, he doesn't want to hear about the rap at all. A man's not. He's not attracted to the rap. He's just not. But he's attracted to money. So men are logical, well, most of them, right? Men are logical, they're logical thinkers. You cannot have an emotional conversation with a logical thinker. I put my logical thinkers on the phone with logical thinkers because men talk.
Yes.
Men talk. A man talks, men talk. Right, there you go. So, there you go. That's a great question. Anybody? Next.
My biggest issue right now.
Come on now, you want to speak.
We can't hear you, Shayla Ford.
My biggest issue right now is finding business partners. Like, how do I get people to actually listen to what I'm offering? Because it's like they listen, but then they're like, okay.
Well, one of the first things I'll tell you is that, you have to tell your story almost every day. I mean, if you looked at all four of our timelines, we're telling our story every single day. And so I know that once you pique the interest, some people need to watch. You heard that a lot of us watch. I watched for 6 months. She watched for 18 months. And so you may actually be getting business partners. You just got to play the process out. And you got to make sure that you're telling your story on social media and just following up regularly. One of the biggest things that people do is they do not follow up after 2 or 3 times with a business partner. I'm telling you, I'm routinely following with people that I first talked to 10 months ago. First talked to a year ago.
So do you, like, how often will you follow up with someone who's not responding back to you?
Every time there's a kit deal, probably once a month, once every 6 weeks, if they were originally interested.
Right.
I keep following up because half the time, I'm telling you, as a mom that's running around all the time, I'll get a message and I forget about the message. Mm-hmm. Just because somebody doesn't follow up with you doesn't mean they're not interested. They may just have forgotten that their husband asked them to do something, their kids are screaming, whatever it is. And so,
You may be embarrassed that they don't have the money.
well, that's a huge thing as well, and thank you for it, because a lot of people just don't have the money at that time. So I just would strongly recommend. It's one of the biggest difference makers I find with VIPs. Everybody in the VIP ranks follows up religiously. Okay, it's a consistency. The other thing I'll say is that, like, I'm more of an introvert. Being on stage is not something, and we have these amazing ladies here that are phenomenal, but just be yourself. That's the other thing I'll say. Don't try to be anything other than yourself. And when you own that, you're confident, and you tell your story where you're going every single day, people will come to you that you connect with, and in turn, they relate to you, and it'll be a beautiful thing. So I don't know if anybody else is.
Being on the other side, I was interested in this lotion from another network marketing company. It was nothing we offer, don't worry. But it was a certain type of lotion that I was interested in from another network marketing company. A girl had talked to me about it. I was super interested, but for whatever reason, I think I was out and about. I just wasn't ready to make the purchase. Well, a couple of weeks went by. I forgot about it. I got busy. I have 4 kids. I have business. I got busy. I forgot about it. I never heard from her again, but I still wanted the lotion. So I ordered with another girl that was posting on my timeline. To this day, I cannot tell you the name of the first girl that talked to me. I would have bought from her. I like to buy from the first person that talks to me, but she never followed up with me. She never checked back in with me. I ordered that lotion, multiple bottles every single month. And I would have been a great customer for that girl. So just remember, sometimes they might just forget your name. And they're like, man, they're thinking about it, but I wish that girl would message me again because I can't remember her name.
There's another one. How many days do you all see me make keto coffee?
Every day.
Every day. Not everybody purchases. My phone has gone off right now from a girl that I've been talking to for all 10 months. She's like, I'm ready to join, and I want to learn how to not be an extrovert, and her whole life story right here in my phone. And she's a loyal. I'm mad because I got to figure out where I moved her to. But I'm just like, you never know. So, it doesn't matter if there were 100 people coming your way and you don't believe that you're worthy of leading them, they won't sign. So a lot of it too is not just what you do daily, it's who you are daily. It's who you're becoming. Are you even ready to handle? So like people have this goal in mind. I want to hit Ruby. Oh my God, I want to hit Ruby. Well, then you hit Ruby and you've got 3 people that you've got to manage now, right? And you're complaining about these 3 people. It's probably like your cousin, your mom, and your boyfriend. And you're complaining about that, but now you're like, I want to go diamond. You're not ready for diamond if you can't handle the 3 people it takes at Ruby. And so you got to deal with the limiting belief. What is the limiting belief that could be the lid that has people like, oh no, because do you really believe? Do you really believe? If one of the beliefs are off, there's 5 beliefs. Belief in yourself, belief in the company, belief in the industry, belief in the product, belief in leadership. And if one of those 5 beliefs are off, then 9 out of 10 times you are thinking that you're doing everything right. Thinking. That's like a person who's going to the gym every day, eating properly, but they really have a negative mindset about losing weight, they're not going to lose a pound. So you have to, you got to deal with what is the limiting belief. Do you believe that you deserve to be a millionaire? Do you see yourself? Do you see hundreds of thousands of dollars in your bank account? See, because what I know is that had God given me the money that I earn now 15 years ago, I would have blown it. He knew that I was not ready for this kind of wealth in 2008. I would have spent it on, I might be out of my mind right now. I'd have been bougie like on the other side. Yeah. So you also got to understand this. When I'm looking and I'm thinking like my business is not going the way that it normally goes, if it's just not kind of like, because there are times when we're like all kind of like all, my first evaluation is, oh my God, my upline, he's just a jerk. No, it's never that. Oh my God, my product came 2 days late. It's never that. I'm looking in the mirror and say, Nina, what's off with you? Yes. Nina, would you join you right now? Is your attitude right? Do you believe? What are you doing for Nina? Like, I take a full ownership of what's going on with me. And so learn to get away from them chickens and them pigeons.
Yes.
Get around some eagles that are going to stretch you, some eagles that are going to make you see some things about yourself that stink. Because that's where your growth is. And the more you grow, the more your business is going to grow.
Plus, you gotta think also, like, how long did it take you to join this team? I'll be honest, it was 8 months.
Yeah.
I had 4 girls that were close friends of mine, they kept messaging me, and I was interested. And I was busy with the baby, doing this, doing that, and I was like, I gotta get a hold of her, and then I would forget, so like, it took me a while to take a look.
And I think a lot of times we stop being consistent. We start, stop, and that's probably worse than anything. And so whenever you first jump in, you have, the people who jump in who just broke, busted, and disgusted. They're not going to take you nowhere, but they like, oh, I want to be a millionaire overnight. And so you have the people that are just going to say yes to support you or do you a solid or whatever. You have those yes people. And And then you have the people that say yes, but they don't follow through. Then you have the maybes. Then you have the no's, but they watching. But then you have the no-nos. And what you don't realize is as you're consistent and as you take those people who just jump in and support you no matter what, you're consistent with them. And I don't want to say you step on their heads to get to the next level, but you use that as leverage. I feel like that's probably a little more respectful. You use that as leverage to say, I'm a Ruby, and you're still loud about your story. Your story is evolving. You're showing motion. Every day you're showing motion, whether you sign someone, you're talking to someone, you doing something, you grow in your mindset, you trying a product. Every day you're showing motion, and all of a sudden these people start shifting. Now the yeses but didn't commit, they see that you're really doing something, they're like, oh, I'm gonna jump on now, and they're really gonna do something. And the maybes now come to yes, but they're not committing. And the no's, but they watching, now start thinking maybe because they see you're consistent. And the no-nos go to no, but I'm watching. And then you go emerald and you're loud and there's motion. And now it's not just you winning, but it's your team winning. And you got 2 Ruby leaders underneath you. And rah, so now it's not them just seeing you, them seeing you. And so now the first people who said maybe are now your yeses. And the ones who said no are now the maybes. And so it's just this, as you fill in new potentials, they start going to the no category, and it all just kind of filters down. But if you start, stop, only gonna work it on Friday because that's my only day off, I'm gonna hump it 10 hours on Friday, thinking I can compensate for the other 6 because that don't work very well. But that's what we think, and so we're gonna do that, and we just realize that everyone just stays where they're at. You know what I mean? So a lot of it, it's always that extreme ownership. We are always in control.
When I go back.
And then sometimes you sell the product and you don't realize it. Like I was at a nail salon and I was telling my friend that was getting a pedicure next to me that, the founding gel works in the crack following your feet. The whole salon just stopped and they're like, what's this product? And they all just started talking to me about it. And then we talked about hair, skin, and nails, everything. And it was crazy. They're like, can you come back and we can have a party? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta share. I'm sorry.
Another thing, I'm sorry, before we get this is probably a big topic, right? Our friends and family are not going to support us. Your friends and family will not support you, and they're not going to take you to the top either. It's very rare. Let me say this. Mama B and Alicia, that's rare. Right, Heather, I'm sorry. Heather, why did I call you Elite Heather? Oh, all right, Heather. That's a rare story, right? It's rare. Joseph, my brother being my triple, that is rare. That's not normal. My brother's a network marketer, right? So you're comparing your story, and this is not just for you, but there are people that are comparing their right now story to somebody else's highlight reel. But you might be in your introduction to your book, and someone else is on their highlight reel. So you're thinking, well, I don't understand my friends or family. They're not supporting me. They're not. They won't support you until strangers are celebrating you. They will not support you until strangers are saying, and I'm gonna tell you why, and I know this might be a little harsh, right? Y'all want me to keep it real? Do y'all want me to keep it real? I said, Fupa, I can keep it real. Listen, your friends and family are not gonna support you because they know you.
Right.
I'm sorry. They know you procrastinate. They know you quit everything you start. They know you owe them money. They know. They're like, how did you even find money to join that? You owe me $100. I'm telling you, they know. This is what they know. You have to prove them wrong. Then they will come on board later. My entire family laughed at me when it came to, what? You got a rap? What? Is that what? They laughed. Every company I did, they laughed. They was like, is she really going to do that? Now they're like, you really should come teach a course on organizational skills and doing business with, the secular world. And now they all want to know. But see, when I had a baby out of wedlock, you threw me to the curb. But now I'm qualified to teach because now I earned some money. Now they want me to come back and talk. They don't want to hear from you right now. You got to prove them wrong. They're looking to see, are you gonna quit? That she quits everything she does. So we can give her about 6 months and she's gonna quit. They're waiting for you to quit. And guess what makes me so mad? I know that people's families are waiting for them to quit. Friends, your boyfriend, you're never gonna. I remember my ex-husband eat his heart out right now because he told me I was never gonna be successful. Number 100. the girl from the hood with no college degree. Little people. Okay? He said I would never be successful. Eat your heart out, boo-boo. Right? Because you gotta understand something. My husband is 11 years younger than me, boo. So, I must be doing something right. All I'm saying is they're waiting for you to fail. So when you quit, they're waiting for you to quit. Your family and friends, I'm telling y'all right now, don't you quit. Because they're waiting for you to quit. So they can say, see? Told you. That's why I'm gonna join her. Because she's gonna quit anyway. Don't quit. I don't care how hard. Go find you a tribe. Create a tribe. I'm creating the Shayla tribe. What do? We're a tribe full of people who family hate on them. Go create a tribe. Your tribe ain't the tribe right now. Go find one. Find people that like to do what you do. If it is knitting, go find your tribe. You're trying to find your tribe in your existing world, and guess what? If those people could help you achieve success, they would have already.
I was actually just going to add, it sort of goes along with what you were saying. Ed Milet has an amazing podcast. If you're not listening to him, you should be. And he talks about the deposits that you make every day and the importance of being consistent. And that if you're in a place right now that's not good, you need to look at what you did 60 to 90 days ago, because that is what's making your now. And he talks about the deposits that you make, and when it's negative, when it starts to go bad and you start to get sloppy and you start to get lazy, the returns come faster. But when you're doing your daily stuff and you're putting in everything, it takes 6 to 9 months to a year. Like Ashley said, how people are moving through the process. If you're not staying consistent and you're not doing your part, it's going to fall apart on you. And he said what happens is people make these deposits and make these deposits into the bank, into the bank, into the bank, and then they say, well, never mind, and they don't actually stay around long enough to make the withdrawal on what's being put into the bank and growing. So like what Nina just said, you can't quit. You just can't give up. And I'm not kidding. Pam has been talking about him recently. I know Mira.
What's the name? What's the name?
Ed Milet.
Ed Milet. Got
He's
it.
a college baseball player that has turned into just sort of a life coach, and he says stuff in ways that's simplistic, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I've never thought of it. But that goes really, you do it every day, you show up every day, whether you want to or not, knowing that the process will eventually work. And he said you just have the faith and belief that eventually you're going to be able to make that withdrawal. You don't know when it'll happen, so you just have to keep going, because you could quit one day and the next day you might have had 5 people who were going to join you, but now they can't find you. Like Claire said, they can't remember your name anymore because you're not around, you're not being present, you're not sharing your story.
There you go. 'Cause I'm not quitting. Right? Yeah.
So, you guys, look, I'm 57 years old, and I'm going to tell you,
Hey, I'm your age.
not a lot of y'all. There's only 2 of us in this room that have white hair. Me and this lady sitting over here, and isn't she beautiful? Anyway,
I got white hair too underneath this.
Don't count anyone out. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what gender you are. There are people that need money. There are people that are hurting out there. And when you get that in your head and make that your purpose, nothing will stop you. You will talk to every single person that crosses your path, because and a cockroach actually tells me I talk to cockroaches. So if they'll sign and be a loyal customer, hey, that's fine, okay? But my girls, we were driving up from North Carolina today. We stopped at Golden Corral. I got my fat fighters out. I said, ladies, we need to take fat fighters. We were bad. And I'm doling out, standing there, here, and I'm passing out fat fighters. The waitress that waited on us, she said, what you got? I said, girl, let me tell you about these fat fighters. I said, y'all see what we ate on that buffet? I said, I'm gonna poop that out. So, let me tell you, another lady was standing there, she said, you've got to getting married, she's 500 pounds, and I want to help her. I said, let me tell you this. I said, let me help you make a $10,000 bonus check, and let's sign your cousin up under you. And your friend right here already wants my fat fighters. There's 2 customers for you. I'm going to sign a distributor tonight when I get back up to my room, and 2 customers underneath the program. You talk to everyone. You were talking about a nail salon. Ladies, when you're at a nail salon and you're getting a pedicure, let me tell you this. You got a captive audience. You pick up the phone and you make a fake telephone call. There ain't nobody else on the phone. And that lady doing my toes, she can't understand a bit of English what I'm saying. But I'm on that phone, I'm like, I'm pretending I'm talking to my daughter usually. Heather, you're not gonna believe this. Mama just went to the store. Oh my God. I just went down another size. I went from a size 22 to a size 14. That skinny coffee you had me taking. Oh my gosh, Heather, when I hang up that fake telephone call, then women that are getting their toes done, they can't move, they're like, Heather and I have been in dressing rooms, and you can see the women in the stall next to you, wiggling, trying to get them jeans up. So I'm having a conversation with my daughter in the very next dressing room, saying the same thing. Heather, you're not gonna believe this, I'm down another size. We have signed customers, they have attacked us when we've come out of the dressing room. Take every opportunity, every day, hundreds of opportunities pass your way. If someone is breathing, they need to hear about this business. So use it for your purpose, let it drive you, because I can tell you, I'm never getting back in another semi-truck. I'm never gonna not feel good about myself and feel worthy. And at 57 years old, I'm not gonna have to live off of Social Security, because where they're all at, you will see Mama B up there. Within the next 5 years, I will be in the building.
Hey, when you do your fake phone calls, make sure your phone is on vibrate.
Don't be awkward. You better make sure you're talking, man. Oh, that's the last few. I'm so sorry. Guys, we do have Pam Souter is on her way. She's
10 minutes away now.
so she's on her way. Yes, baby.
I gotta,
Stand up and be loud.
She can talk and be loud.
Show them that church voice.
okay. So amen, everybody. So here's a real question. Being very, very transparent, I'm gonna look that way. Have you ladies at any time since being in networking or even with It Works ever been able not to have your auto ship? Because I've been faced with circumstances and situations where I was not able to have my auto ship. And I will get frustrated by that because I understand those are watching me. So I got people daily saying, okay, what you got? I know you got something. What you got? And I'll be like, it's coming. Felicia, you got anything yet? It's coming. Seriously, it's coming. So has there ever been a time when you didn't have it for your authorship and you still got people looking at you? What did you do? Did you fake the funk? Did you tell the truth? Or, exactly what did you do on a serious note?
You want me to get real?
No, I want you to be real.
Real. You giving me permission to be Ashley Mayfield?
Absolutely.
In over 3 years, I never not ran an auto ship. You can't afford not to, baby. You can't afford not to. Now you gotta set yourself up for success. Maybe that means the first month you buy samples of something and you flip that. You buy your bag of wraps and you buy your greens.
not fully, and now you about to get a little bit more. It's okay. It's not
So let me go ahead and finish, and then we're gonna hand the microphone to the
I put
queen.
myself out there.
So no, and you want to know what? I appreciate your honesty. That took guts for you to stand up and say that. That took guts. So thank you for saying that. But you can't afford not to. And if that means that you gotta clean a house, that means you gotta do something to get a little side. You gotta sell something to someone to make $100 to run your auto ship next month. You're gonna buy you a bag of wraps and chocolate greens, and you're gonna make sure it's 80 BV, and you're gonna sell those 4 wraps to make $100. And you got a product you take every day, and you take that $100 and you rinse and repeat, And you can do that with Wrap Cash, with facials, with keto coffee. You do it with anything now, as long as if it doesn't have the nutritional facts, you print out the documents in the back office from the website. Yep. So you could do it with anything, but you got to do whatever it takes, because it is everything. When you conquer that little mountain, baby, you're going to be able to conquer bigger mountains. But if you tell yourself, I can't run an auto ship and I'm frustrated over it, we got to help you climb that mountain. You can't afford not to run an auto ship. You got to be on that product daily. You got to be taking it. You got to be speaking it, because now it's messing with your confidence. It's messing with your money. Listen, you got to find $100 in the next week. I'm challenging you right now. You find $100 in the next week. And you want to know what? I'm challenging you right now. You gonna do it. You're not gonna borrow it. You gonna make $100 in the next week. And you make $100 in the next week, and I'm gonna give you $100. Hey. You hear what I'm saying?
You got this, lady. You got this.
You hear what I'm saying? You're not gonna borrow the money because you can't pay it back. And we're not gonna do God watching you right now. We ain't gonna do that. You gonna sell something, you gonna hustle for it. You gonna work for it. And you message me, you got 7 days from today. It's 8:56. You got till 8:56, and I'm gonna send you $100. I'm gonna set you up for success. You can't afford not to run that auto ship, baby. Okay?
The other part to that is feeling. We got to come out of that victim place because of life. I mean, it happens, right? I was there where I was broke. I was a single mom. I told you I was going through a divorce. So maybe I got into the mindset of pre-selling. I started to pre-sell my products. They're not here yet, but you can pay for your product so that when it's here, you're first up to get it. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm gonna tell you how hungry I got. In my very first company, I was broke. What was I, y'all? Broke. What was I? Broke. Bougie broke. I was bougie broke. Let me tell you what I did. This is my hand to God, y'all. I took every piece of gold that I owned and I sold it. Because I knew that that company was a heavily inventory company. I knew that the people I watched it, people that made money had inventory to sell right there, because women will buy what they can see, feel, taste, and touch. Women will buy what they can see, feel, taste, and touch. I sold all of my gold. I knew that I said, I'm going to be successful. I'll replace the gold. How bad do you want it?
That's right.
The queen's going to take the mic.
I'm sorry.
Like if your friends, like your distributors in your team, like if they're out of keto coffee, let's say it's on back order, sometimes like in our chat we'll put in, hey, I need keto coffee, my kids are like really wanting it, like the greens on the go, and then we sell to each other, to make money. Like we have it on hand, and the others on back order, and so that helps. Like you can do $3. The little keto energy is $3. The keto example bag is $5, and help your team out at the same time. Then they can have the products that they want for themselves and their family to do the videos and taking the products and showing, being the product of the product. You said
It's time to eat.
coming to you, right?
Their money.
I see that.
That's your start. Go to them tonight. Say, hey, I want this, but it's coming. We can pay it for
That's
it.
fine.
Or this is on the way. It's on the way. Someday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, as
They
anything
shipping.
but a
Somebody
product
just got
question.
theirs from May 17th.
How
They
was your
shipping.
flight?
Somebody just got theirs from May 17th.
Do what? My flight was delayed. About 4 hours. Yes.
Whoa.
So I just got here. Baltimore shut the airport down. So we couldn't land.
Yes, I've got a question. Did you always know that you were going to be successful? Like, did you know?
Did I always know if I was going to be successful? Yes. Yes. I made a decision. I didn't know how.
How old were you? Like, was it like way back? Was it
I think I was around 5. And I knew that I would be a millionaire.
I love it.
At around 5, I started selling cherries off a cherry tree. And then I did. And then, babysat for 50 cents an hour and did all the things that you do. I'm open for all opportunities. That doesn't mean I join all opportunities. That means I'm open to receive. And so I keep an open mind. And then I go to work. See, I'm not afraid to work. And that's the difference. A lot of you are fearful of the work. You think you can't do it. But without a shadow of a doubt, that anything that you made a decision on, you accomplished it. Every single one of you, even from the time that you were really little. And so I knew that after watching my parents struggle over money, that I didn't want to live like that. Now they're happy, they're still alive, and they do very well. But that's when I saw the argument start, was over the lack of enough funds. And so I made a decision early on that I was not going to be that person. And so whatever it took, I just did anything and everything. And then I found this industry through a friend just like you did. And I'm like, this is it. This is the Holy Grail. I'm going to work so hard in this to perfect my skills, to know how to build, to know the systems to put in place, to know how to talk to people, to know what to say, what not to say, to build my mind, personal development. I read all the way here. I didn't watch Netflix. I read to build my mind here, to be a better leader and a better coach. And so early on, you did too. All of you did. All of you knew you were made for more. Every single one of you. And along the way, you got beat up. And you started listening to people that had already given up on their dream and their desires. And then unfortunately, along the way, you got lazy. And you got complacent. And you got sad. And you got lonely. And you lost all your dreams. And you found this, and you got excited. You started meeting new people. You started understanding that this is a possibility for you. And you thought, maybe I can dream. And the reason that you're not on auto ship is you lost your dreams. That's the reason you're not on auto ship. If you would open up your heart and allow all of us to come in and start to believe more in yourself, you'd start to take that step towards auto ship. And it wouldn't be a question in your mind, and then the money would show up. In just the weirdest, wildest ways. We didn't have any money to start this company. We didn't pay ourselves for 3 years. For 3 years, we didn't pay ourselves. And I'm taking money out of our household account to get in the car and to drive to Maryland, not fly. And I slept on somebody's couch when I got here. And I did that all over the country. I did whatever it took because we had a rap that worked. And that was a dream that was placed inside of me, and I followed my hunch on it. Follow your hunch. You're in this room. That means you're meant for this. You've been praying. All of you have been praying. God, bring me something. Bring me something. Well, here it is. What do you think it's supposed to be? Pixie dust and some magic?
No, it's this, and now I brought it. You go to work. I'll meet you all along the way. I'll show up. When you decide to go bigger, we'll go bigger. When you decide to go bigger than that, we'll go bigger than that. And that's what we did. We just started. So we just start. That's it. Great question. But yes, you did too. What else? Yes.
Shout it. I got airplane ear. Okay, so I'm also going to be transparent. I have had my head down and my blinders on for years. I don't know why I'm emotional. I'm sorry. And I hit triple, and that was the most life-changing thing for me. And I have an amazing group of women. And I have found myself in these past 60 days, like trucking, like talking and building relationships and doing the things that I am consistent. But I am stuck. But not like one of my gifts is an encourager, so I know what I hear when I hear that from somebody, and I know I can speak life into that. And I'm doing that, and I'm partnering with Christ every single day, and I'm believing in this. Come to 5 beliefs, I got it. I got that. And I'm still stuck. And I'm finding that I'm like that intentional work, I'm losing it or something. I don't know. I'm trying to find the right words and not sound like an idiot, but how do you revamp? I mean, longevity in this business, I got it. I'm a lifer up here. How do you revamp in your business over and over? What if we hear if something's not working, then try something different. Don't need a divorce, whatever. So I've been doing that, but I feel chaotic. I feel like I'm all over the place. I feel like I'm doing a little bit of a lot. And I've been praying for something to come up that switches that, and waking up in the morning and going after it. But how do you revamp? How do you find? How do you revamp?
Has anybody else ever felt like that? I think all of us. I've heard a great term for this. It's called being in the belly of the whale. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard that? Being in the belly of the whale. And so we all get it in there. At some point, it's like, well, we're just on a roll, man. Nothing's going wrong, and we're just slaying it. And we get in there, and we start this is pretty comfortable. This feels pretty good. You know what? I think I'm okay. I think I'm just going to manage a little bit. And I'm just going to see, just go over here. It's easier. It's easier to manage than what we think is easier to manage. When we start managing, we get in there and manage more, we realize that's not fun. It's much more fun starting new people. But we stop doing way before we start thinking, I am stuck. We stop doing the things that we did to get there. We have to admit it. We can go back. I listened to this amazing podcast, and it was talking about how they train people to lose hundreds of pounds, and they work with them for years solid, and they lose it. And it was one decision later on, and one gentleman had lost 400 and some pounds, and he went to get gas. And as he stepped inside, instead of getting a Diet Coke, he got a regular Coke. And while he was getting it, he said, this is a mistake. And then he did it again and again, and he's back up, almost to 600 pounds. Wow. And they traced it all the way back to that one decision, that one day. And so at some point, you kind of sit down. And you could go back and try to figure it out, but we don't have time to do that. We all go through that belly of the whale where we're complacent, we feel good until we want to get out. And then we're scratching and clawing, and we're bringing people in, but nobody's working. It's no fun anymore. We start to doubt ourselves. We start to doubt our team. And you can try to fake it with them, but they sense it. They all sense it. They do. It's like trying to fake that you still love your husband. He can tell. You know what? He can tell. You can tell. You can't fake that energy. And so the only thing that I know to do, the only thing that's ever, because believe me, I've been in this industry 25 years. I don't wake up every day going, I just can't wait to get out there. There are many days, like today, where you're like, wow, I'm 4 hours late, I'm just gonna make the most of it. I'm going to get there when I get there. It's going to be perfect timing. And so what you have to say, it's perfect timing for me right now. I've been in this belly too long. I am going to make a conscious decision to get out of here and to go, not to press. You've got to go to ambassador. You've got to drop the I am stuck. And I am ambassador. You have to drop the rebuild, the maintain, you want to build a brand new team, and then your team will either go along with you, your current team, or they'll get out of your way. Because they may be also very stuck, not ready to move on. And you're just staying back there with them. It is time to make that definitive decision. It's not going to feel like it did in the beginning. You're not going to have all this crazy, wild energy that you had before. But guess what? It's better because it's like this knowingness, like this, gosh, I've got this down, man. I put in distributors and customers. That's it. I build the steps to success. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to watch my check double and then double again and then double again. And you got to stand in the mirror and talk to yourself like that. Instead of I am stuck. Man, I wouldn't get out of bed if I said I am stuck. And then you're going to get stuck people. That's all you're going to bring into your business is a bunch of stuckers. That's it. And that's not what you want. You know what you want. So just decide, quit talking about it. Quit giving energy to it. There's nothing wrong with you. Now, as you move forward, you'll be able to coach all those that are stuck. And that's why you're in that belly, to learn how to get out of it. So quit staying in there. It's no fun in there. It's very dark and smells bad.
Yes, who is next?
Confession, I was in the belly for exactly, my team can attend, I disappeared. But thankful I got spit out of Nineveh on Tuesday, and I was sitting in a certain group and I was listening to Ted speak. I had a revelation, I knew what was wrong. I couldn't get myself to step up and motivate. By the way, my meetings did great without me. None of them stopped. I'm so thankful. I have an awesome team. But on a personal level, I've realized that what I thought was my goal and my dream, in reality wasn't. And I have to do some soul searching to really reassess and reevaluate. So I'm asking you, how is it that you know? What is it that you don't know? What is my true dream? What is the goal? What is the why?
Well, sometimes I think we put a lot of emphasis on you've got to find your why. And how many of you just really don't know what it is?
Well, it changes.
Yeah, and it changes. And so in the beginning, it's we need the money. In the beginning, it's like we want the money. That's what we want. We either want our health back or we want the income. And that's real, and it's okay. So let's all shake it off, the fact that we want the money. We deserve it. That's why we're here tonight, to learn how to create more income. And so with that, you could just say that right now, I want the money. You don't have to know why you want it other than you want it. But why would you want the money? Because you're not sleeping at night. You can't pay your bills. You're under a tremendous amount of stress. A lot of us don't even know what our debt is. We're afraid to look at our debt. You're not going to eliminate it until you look at it. Down to the very penny. I mean, you've got to get it all out and lay it on the table and take a deep breath, because it's more than you realize. Some of you, it's less than you realize. So my thing about finding your why is sometimes it develops more clearly as you move. But if it's more than, how many would say it is the money, that you want the money? What do the rest of you want? What do the rest of you want it? Come on. You want, who? It's okay. It's okay, because everywhere we go, they take it. It's just a form, yes, it's a form of exchange, isn't it? Do you know how much fun it is creating money? It is so much fun. Do you know the more money you earn with That Works, the more people on your team earn as well?
Yep.
Do you realize that? So right now you're all hoarders. You're hoarding the money. And it could be just a couple of dollars that you're hoarding. You're not telling anybody about it. You're not asking anybody if they want to join. You're afraid to ask them. I just don't know my why. Well, I'll wait till it hits me like a bolt of lightning, and then I'll get started. See, sometimes we're afraid to say our why, because then we have to admit that we want something and that we're not dreamers. And that hurts. You know, when you were little, I have little ones around me again, Kennedy and Miles, and they want everything. And if they just go over and grab it, there is nothing wrong with that, is it?
No.
Sometimes they'll bite you if they don't get it. They have tenacity. And they just keep poking and asking, poking and asking, poking and asking. And we lose that over time. We need to get back. You know, if they say you follow the little ones, do what the little ones do, the way they sit, crouch down, and how they get back up. That's how we're supposed to crouch down and get back up. And how they keep asking and asking and asking and asking and asking until they get it. That's what we're supposed to do, is just keep asking and asking. And you know how their dreams change? They want to be a fireman one day, and then the next day they want to be a princess, and then the next day they want to be Captain Marvel or Spider-Man or Spider-Woman or Wonder Woman. Well, most of you are women. I say be Wonder Woman. Just make a decision, and then why don't we just eliminate the first little bit of debt? Why don't we get that out and start whittling away at it? You know, it's shocking to see when you make a decision, all right, I'm going to get rid of this bill first, how quickly you get rid of it once you look at it. It's shocking. And then you decide, okay, well, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not having any fun with that. Is anybody having fun living paycheck to paycheck? Anybody having fun driving a car that they're afraid will not start? No. Is anyone having fun living in a place that does not honor them or your family? No. Is anyone going to give you any of that? No. So you just got to make a decision that you're going to go after it. Whether you have a strong why or not, because it's in there somewhere hidden, but you've got to start. And that why just grows and evolves and changes, and it just gets bigger. And one of the reasons I started in this industry was for recognition. Now, isn't that funny? And you want to know why? I wasn't getting any. Your husband comes in, he goes, what have you been doing all day? Well, you've got 2 kids under 3. Guess what I've been doing? But they don't see it, do they? So you're like, wow. And then you don't have any adult talk. You don't have anything really to strive for. Nothing changes during the day. It's the same day, every day. So when I heard that you could win awards and get big checks and get recognized, I'm like, I want that. That's what I want. And you can make friends everywhere. I love friends. I want more friends. And you can travel. Oh, that did it. I'm in. You mean I can travel? Like when Mark said we're going to Costa Rica, I said, love language, Costa Rica, travel. That's my love language. I'm in. I would beat the door down to get there. When I was selling IBM computers, if they said this fountain pen can be yours if you have the highest sales for the week, I'm out the door before the rest of them even remember what he said. And I got more fountain pens than anybody. I'm like, y'all don't even try. That pen is mine. So it doesn't matter. It didn't matter if it was a trip or a fountain pen. I wanted to win it. Why? Heck, I don't know. I'm competitive. I love to win. I didn't hurt anybody to do it. As a matter of fact, I encouraged a lot of people to try to win too. So become a winner. Remember when you were one? Remember school? How competitive you were? You wanted to show up, make the good grades, run the fastest. Remember that? Remember awful gym class? Remember those things we did? We all want recognition. We crave it. We will give you plenty. Plenty. And we do not limit you as to what you can dream or earn. I've never seen anything like it in my life. You don't have to ask us for it either. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Okay, we don't care where you come from. Who's ever seen that? We don't care what kind of education you have. We don't care who your family is or isn't. We don't care what you drive, what color your skin is, what color hair. You can have purple hair, we'll pay you. Yes. Well, we will pay you well. It's an even playing field. Even if we, for some reason, don't like you, we don't care. You can still make all the money you want to, right? Right? What's your question?
Oh, I was standing up to film.
Oh! All right, you have one.
You said borders. It's like that parable Jesus said that your height, I would just go put this in the ground and move that I have.
The parable of the talents. Yes. You know, just like not spending the 80, you're not going to earn it. Not spending the 80 set yourself up for more than just not spending the 80. Not setting up your auto shipment tells the world that you're not ready to receive. It's a check and balance. It always has been. Giving back in that way, you will receive. What else do we have? Because I know it's getting late. Okay. Now you have one.
Now I have one. So we know our why should make us cry, and it does. And I have an amazing team underneath me, and their whys make me cry. So when we're signing up new DTs and they're excited and we're getting excited with them, where does it shift in the mentorship of holding their hand, encouraging them, reaching out constantly in their first few weeks, months, to letting them take the initiative, spread their wings? Where is that transition? I know for everybody.
To me, it starts the very first day.
Okay.
See, I gave that up a long time ago. Y'all want to work less and make more? Yes. Yeah. Here's a good parable. This is the thing. Wow, you know, this is a loaded question. I am probably the most loving, giving person that I know. And I love you and give you so much that I'm going to teach you day one how to not rely on me or your team. Okay? See, in the beginning, we want all the accolades. Right? We want all the accolades. It's our team. Y'all take such ownership of your team that you guard them with your life. This is my team. My team. You know, that's great, but they're a part of everybody's team. Everybody's team. So what happens is you decide to take on all these responsibilities, which builds your ego. It's okay, we all do this in the beginning. There's a lot of managers you've worked for that are just like this. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm going to free you up right here because you ask this probably because you do too much for everybody. Does she? Yeah. And it will wear you out, and it costs you tens of thousands of dollars. So we want to make the most money possible, right? So your job with your people is to point them in the right direction.